Hello Covai Post viewers, we have with us today the Consul General of the United States of America, Mr. Robert Burgess, talking to us about the immigration policies, the Indo-US ties and the American investments in India. Let us listen to him. So thank you very much CG for talking to Covai Post. My first question would be your experiences in Coimbatore. You're here for the first time and how has it been?
This is my first official visit to Coimbatore, and it's been great. I've had the opportunity to meet with businesses, business leaders, with students, to engage with students directly, to participate in a graduation. I've met with entrepreneurs, and I've visited company plants and manufacturing here. And I've been so impressed with the diversity in this city, but also what's been common has been an entrepreneurial spirit.
Okay. And you said about manufacturing industries. What has been your learning?
My learning has been that to meet with companies that are expanding their operations into the United States.
Okay.
In fact, to get closer to their customers and to their supply chains, expanding their businesses and are actually manufacturing in cities in the United States. I also met with companies, or met companies that are manufacturing, American companies,
okay,
that have processes and manufacturing here. And what that tells me is that we benefit from this two-way investment and the two-way trade.
Okay. Now that Prime Minister Narendra Modi and President Donald Trump have hit it off very nicely, how do you think this would impact the Indo-US ties, and do you see it expanding, and what do you think about it?
You know, the positive relationship and tone at the top sets a tone for all of us in our work here, and it creates an atmosphere where we can work to expand the relationship. But this is also built on years and years of a growing relationship between the United States and India. Right. And this is tied to business, growing trade, $125 billion in two-way trade in the last year. But especially it's laid on this foundation of people-to-people ties, of Indian Americans, Americans here in India, students in the United States, students and scholars coming here to India. That's what is the basis for the relationship and gives us opportunities for expansion.
Okay. There are concerns about the new immigration policies that have been contemplated or proposed in the US. Does that reflect on the quality or the number of immigrants from India?
You know, Indian Americans constitute about 4 million people today, and an important part of the American society and the fabric in the United States. They're involved in business, in the professions. There are multi-generation families in the United States, and they're involved in the political sphere. So Indian Americans is an important part of the U.S. society. There have been no changes to the immigration platform and the visa regime as far as getting to the United States. We are still processing visas, and we still see a record number of students going to the United States, 1 million visitors a year from India to the United States for tourism and business purposes. So I see this as a solid relationship.
Okay. So CG, the work permits for the spouses of the H1B visa holders are likely to be stopped, is what we are hearing. Could you clarify on that?
Okay. We discussed the H1B visa is for specialized workers going to the United States. The H4 visa is for the spouse of an H1B visa holder. There's been no change to the law or the regulations regarding H1Bs and H4s.
So there's no cause for concern?
There's been no change to the law at this point.
Okay. India is the second largest when it comes to the growth in the economy. But do we see the American investors in a watch and wait mode?
I don't think it's a watch and wait mode. I think they're looking for the opportunities here in India. And as we see reforms taking place which have improved India's ranking in the ease of doing business survey, for example. We see that makes it a more attractive place for doing business. And we see American firms that are looking to locate in India, not just for the Indian market, but as a hub for their activities in the Indo-Pacific. In 2016, we saw, the latest year we have the full statistics, $45 billion in two-way investment between India to the United States and the United States to India.
Okay.
So I think they're looking for the opportunities.
Okay. Could you detail a little bit about the free trade agreement between India and USA?
Well, that would be an interesting idea if we could move in that direction over time. But I think as we see increased trade between our countries, there are frictions here and there. What we seek is fair and balanced trade with reciprocal tariffs on goods, and we could move in that direction. The United States, on the whole, has some of the lowest tariffs, or the lowest tariffs in the world for goods. And I think if we can move in that direction, we might someday reach where we could do the free trade.
Okay. Thank you so much for talking to Covai Post. Nice talking to you.
My pleasure to talk to you.